please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Chair, and good morning, everyone. FAO is very pleased to be with you in this important event organized by CTA. My presentation is grouped into two parts. The first section will give you a bird's-eye view of the progress that we have made on the SDGs that FAO is custodian agency for. And the second section will shed light on Target 2.4 of Goal 2. Particularly, the focus will be on SDG Indicator 2.4.1, which is proportion of agriculture area under productive and sustainable agriculture. So just to give you some perspective as to how the UN system has organized itself to monitor the global indicator framework. The global indicator framework comprises of 232 indicators that track progress in 169 targets and is spread over 17 goals. The framework was endorsed by the UN General Assembly in July 2017. United Nations Statistical Commission is the apex body responsible for the development and monitoring of SDG framework. In the process, a custodian international agencies were assigned and mandated for each indicator with specific set of responsibilities. That is methodological development, statistical capacity building of the countries, reporting data and disseminating their data at at a global level, voluntary national reviews, and advocacy and communication. An interagency expert group on sustainable development goals was constituted that has a mandate to prepare initial proposals on the methodology, and they oversee this work through to 2030. In total, 28 countries comprise this group, and they represent their respective regions. International organizations like FAO, WHO, UN Habitat, etc., are present on the group, but only as observers. The group meet twice a year, and the last meeting was in November 2018. The point that I would like to emphasize is that this Agenda 2030 or SDGs is fully owned and led by countries, as opposed to the MDG era whereby the international institution or international organizations were in the driving seat. To facilitate the methodological work, the IAEG SDG has classified the indicators into 3 tiers or groups. Maybe you are already aware of this. They classify the indicators based on the level of methodological development and the availability of data. So tier 1 being the indicator for which an established methodology and international standard exists, and most of the countries are regularly producing data. That is greater than 50% of the country or population in each region. Tier 2 are the indicators for which an established methodology or international standard has recently been developed, so it exists, but most of the countries are still facing issues in regularly reporting and producing data on these indicators. And tier 3 being those for which international standard is not yet developed, or the methodologies are still being tested. Just to give you some perspective on the status of the SDG indicators under FAO custodianship, so FAO is responsible for 21 SDG indicators that are spread across 6 goals. So goal 2 on food security, nutrition, and sustainable agriculture. As you can see here, in 2015, only one indicator, 2.1.1, which is prevalence of undernourishment, was tier 1. So countries were regularly producing data on this indicator. Rest were either tier 3 or tier 2. Goal 2 on gender equality, Goal 6 on use of water, Goal 12 on sustainable consumption and production, Goal 14 on oceans, and Goal 15 on life on land. So in total, in 2015, we had 13 tier 3 SDG indicators. So you can imagine the amount of work that went into the methodological development of all these SDG indicators. 5 for tier 2 and only 3 were tier 1. So countries were reporting only on 3 SDG indicators. But we have came a long way since then. Given the magnitude and intensity of the work involved, FAO has reorganized and restructured itself both strategically and at operational level to fast track the methodological development work. So as you can see now, the picture is entirely reversed. And out of the 13 SDG indicators that were tier 3 back in 2015, only 1 is left now as tier 3. So for the rest, the IAEG SDG has already endorsed and accepted the methodologies proposed by FAO. I would like to thank the collaborative efforts of the country institutions, especially the National Statistical Offices, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Environment, who were involved throughout this discussion while we were developing this methodological proposal, either in the form of discussions or in the form of country testing, etc., plus international organizations like European Commission. They have been involved in various discussions around several SDG indicators, private sector, civil society, academia, and subject matter experts, which includes statisticians, policymakers, etc. Goal 2, which entails ending hunger, achieving food security, and improving nutrition and promotion of sustainable agriculture. Though I briefly talked about this goal in my previous slide, Goal 2 comprises of 8 targets and 14 indicators, of which FAO is custodian for 9. Out of the 9, currently the status is that we have 5 indicators now classified as tier 1 and 4 are still tier 2. And mind you, out of the 4, 2.3.1, which is labor productivity, 2.3.2 on average income of small-scale producers, and 2.4.1 proportion of agriculture area under productive and sustainable agriculture were upgraded in November 2018. At the corporate level, we have kicked off several initiatives and activities for us to be able to basically capacitate the countries, in terms of their statistical capacities are concerned. So in this regard, we have already started working on online e-learning courses. We have organized several global, regional, and national training workshops on respective SDGs. And we have also developed this SDG data and communication portal, which is a one-stop shop for all the information required as for the methodologies or testing exercise is concerned for the indicators that FAO is custodian for. So for us, the new FAO vision for 2019 to 2030 is to scale up capacity development support to maximize country reporting on the SDGs. Just very quickly, these are the indicators for which we have already published e-learning courses, and these are available freely online in multiple UN languages. So as you can see, most of the indicators, the moment we got the indicator upgraded, we were simultaneously working on developing these courses so that we can, without losing any time, start building the capacities of the country institution at the, so that they're able to start reporting on these indicators. Here are some more. So as you can see, most of these are, have been published in several languages. The intention is to at least publish all these online training courses in at least the 6 official languages of UN. Just for your reference, cumulatively until now, around 8,000 experts from countries have already, downloaded and used these courses for building their capacity. Several others, e-learning courses are currently under development, especially as you can see 2.3.1, 2.3.2, and 2.4.1 indicators, because these recently got upgraded, and there were still some refinements ongoing in the methodological work. Hopefully, all these courses will be available by the mid of 2019. As for the global, regional, and national training workshops are concerned, between 2016 we have conducted several. The aim was to enlarge the pool of SDG monitoring experts at the country level and to facilitate South-South cooperation as well. We took this an opportunity to facilitate pilot testing of the new methods. So in total, we have conducted 40+ training workshops in 2017 and 18, whereby 120 countries attended one or more of these workshops, and these countries belong to various regions of the world. The intended outcome or result was to increase the number of reporting countries on SDGs. With this, I come to an end as for the first part of my presentation is concerned, which was the overall performance as for the FAO custodian SDG indicators are concerned. Target 2.4 is basically, as you can see here, I highlighted the key aspects captured in this target in red: sustainable food production system, resilient agriculture practices, productivity, production, et cetera, et cetera. So, as you can see here, this target requires an indicator which is multi-dimensional in its nature. Quite recently, as I spoke earlier, we have, were able to basically endorse the methodology of indicator 2.4.1, proportion of agriculture area under productive and sustainable agriculture by the IAEG SDG. The indicator reflects multiple dimensions of sustainability. That is, we are talking about agriculture systems in the methodological note, which are economically viable, socially acceptable, and environmental friendly. The indicator is measured at a farm level, and it allows measurement of progress towards a more sustainable agriculture. I'm not going to go through these steps, but these were the, some sequential and parallel steps that we adopted to basically develop the methodology of the indicator. I mean, if you are interested, I can always share with you the methodological note for this indicator, and if you have any question, you can always revert to me. This is how the framework looks like. So these are the key themes and sub-indicators captured as for the sustainable, as for this indicator 2.4.1 is concerned. Very briefly, I'll tell you about the three dimension and the themes which fall in that. So in the economic dimension, we are capturing labor productivity, profitability, and financial resilience. In the environmental dimension, we are focusing on soil health, water use, fertilizer risk, pesticide risk, and biodiversity. And in the social dimension, we are capturing aspects like decent work, food security, and land tenure. This is how the indicator, so basically for assessing the sustainability levels, we have assigned thresholds or sustainability criteria for us to basically say something as to whether this agriculture holding or farm is sustainable or otherwise. We are using this traffic light approach whereby, green is labeled as desirable, yellow acceptable, and red is unsustainable. These threshold values or criteria were established by thematic expert and will be fine-tuned in the light of the proposed tests currently ongoing in Bangladesh. This is how the indicator looks like. This is a made-up example, but on the horizontal axis, we are measuring the themes or the sub-indicators. On the vertical axis, we are measuring the percentage of agriculture area, and the green, yellow, and red shows the area under each indicator for a country, sustainable or unsustainable. As for the next steps are concerned, I mean, extended pilots are currently ongoing in Bangladesh. We will finalize the methodological note or fine-tune it in the light of these tests. That is the farm survey questionnaire, both the pen and paper version and the computer version, enumerator manual, calculation procedures, etc. Preparation of training material and e-learning courses is already in progress. Advocacy workshop and will kick off hopefully in the mid of this year. All of the information related to the indicator will be regularly uploaded on the SDG data and communication portal that I briefly talked about earlier, and hopefully by 2020 we will be able to roll out the indicator in countries. With this, I thank you. I mean, if you have any question, you can always write to me for indicator 2.4.1 directly, or for any other SDGs, I'll be very happy to put you in touch with the focal points for those indicators in FAO. Thank you.